Oh, hey guys, welcome back. Okay guys, let me know if you like this background because y'all know that I used to film. Ring light was over there, but I think with the new, oh god, I messed up the ring light. I think with the new setup, like the plants look gorgeous. Like look at this background. Oh my god, I love this. Okay, we're gonna stick with it. I've already made up my mind. Wow, it hasn't even been 30 seconds and we're getting distracted, Kevin. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you some plants that I got in 2020 and basically how they're doing today. I already put out a part 1, so you could find that in the link in the description below. And I think I only did 8 plants. I think there are 18 more, but 2020 is when my obsession kind of exploded when it comes to plants. Y'all know me, I'm gonna show you the good and the bad, and we're just gonna have a good time. I'm gonna try my very best. The histories are very long with these plants, but I will tell you when I first got it. I'll include some pictures, some clips, and we'll get through this journey together. I'm really excited. Okay, the first plant has been no stranger recently. It is the Anthurium Warocqueanum. So I got this plant in July 2022. No, I didn't. I got this plant in July 2020. And I don't know where the main clip is, but this is the unboxing. It's like a quick one of me just showing. Look how small. Like, she was such a small plant and I was so ready to grow her big. This is the time I was very confident about leca and plants living in leca. So I don't think I waited like more than a couple days before I put my queen in leca. So here's a picture from a month later. This was August 2020. Is this when she was pushing out her first leaf? Like, I was so shocked by this. I was like, okay, leca's doing its thing. The nutrients are like, but yeah, that's when she pushed out her first leaf. And she didn't stop. And this next picture is from September. She was like pushing out a new leaf once a month. I don't know if it's because it was juvenile. I don't know if it was because it was in leca or the nutrient solution. So I made the decision in February 2021 to experiment with her in pond. Now, this is when I started my pond journey. I'm pretty sure it was one of the first plants that I put into pond. And so, I mean, look at the roots, y'all. She looks good. And about 2 months later in April 2021, she pushed out this new leaf. She was much bigger. You know, at this point also, I wasn't putting a nutrient solution in with the pond just because pond, when you first get it, it comes with slow release fertilizer. They do say that I think it lasts 3 months. 2 months later, June 2021, this is a new leaf. This is probably the last leaf that was pretty. Was it? Let me see. Oh, you're pretty. And at that time she was in a closed system, so I didn't have the ability to flush the medium. 1 month later, let's just throw in the picture here. I poked a hole by accident because I was watering all my plants with my pump and I turned and literally like jabbed it. But then, y'all, she didn't have a good time. She didn't have a good time. I don't know what happened. I think I erased this from my mind because I was just so sad about it. But I think the last memory I have was from December 2021 when I featured it in Help My Plants Are Dying video. I might add that clip here. And yeah, I guess I'll just grab her. Okay, so this is my Anthurium Warocqueanum. So let's just look at this leaf. Oh my god. And this is the newest leaf. She is like not perfect. She does look more yellow in person than she does on camera. I mean, I think I'm just upset because this plant has so much potential. Oh my god. Okay, fast forward like 5-6 months, May 2022. So this wasn't too long ago. This was like, I don't even know, like 9 months ago, was it? She is not doing well. Boy, look at this. Oh my god, you could hear it. Do you hear it? So crispy. The newest leaf looked so bad. So it was bad. And then in July, you know, she started bouncing back. Oh. I don't even know. She's so wide. Can you look how big? Look at my head compared to this leaf. Are you kidding? So that brings us to today. What I've done differently in the past 8 months, because I really wanted to get this plant bigger leaves, first of all, and obviously minimizing the foliage. I think in the fall of last year is when I really started paying attention to my Anthuriums. Before that, I would say I would let them dry out too much. And so y'all know that I covered the rest of the stem and the adventitious roots with this cone situation with pond, just so it can build that root system. And then I decided to throw in a moss pole. Ever since I did this, I've been flushing her weekly and also spraying the new leaf. Oh my gosh. So this is the newest leaf. She looks bigger because she's closer to the camera, but I just like don't know how to be beside her. So she is so beautiful, guys. So overall, she's doing great. Y'all know that my Hoya fell on the top part of the leaf. So that's where this tear is from. You can see also like down here, but overall she looks good compared to, you know, the other leaves. The oldest leaf is this one. And when this leaf, cause like look at my head. She's like wider than my head. When this leaf came out, I was shocked. I was like, wow, this leaf is so big. And then the other one is bigger. It's bigger, but she had a hard time unfurling. So I'm really excited for this leaf do her thing. I'm so excited. She's not hardened off yet, so I don't know if she's gonna get any bigger, but I mean, she's already so big. Like, I have small hands, but like, it's crazy. Oh my gosh. Anyhow, Future Kevin put in a picture from, you know, around the time I got her, and you know, she does look different. Like, I mentioned before that she kind of resembled like what a dark form would look like, but you know, when she matured, she got a bit more lighter than its juvenile form. The venation is more crazy. She got pretty wide, and I just want this one to just take off and do her thing. Just do her thing. So I do think it's working, like the flushing and the spraying. Overall, I'm so pleased. And obviously looking at, what was it, like May 2022? So I was like, oh gosh. And basically what I learned from this plant is just to be patient, try new things. And yeah, I'm really excited for the, you know, the spring and summer months. I'm predicting this plant will take off. Anyhow, the first plant is the Queen Anthurium. Okay, so the second plant, oh my gosh. I was so excited to talk about this plant. The second plant is the Philodendron Strawberry Shake. I got this plant in April 2020. Oh my god, I think I have a clip that I didn't post anywhere. Yeah, this was before YouTube, and I decided to film it. Here's a clip. I sound so awkward because I wasn't even used to YouTube yet. Oh my god, okay, here it is. The second plant we have today is a Philodendron Strawberry Shake. So I don't know if you could see, but there are a variety of like tones and colors here. I haven't seen this plant anywhere. It was just this year. I'm seeing it everywhere. Oh my god, cringe. Okay, so then a week later, guys, this is when I was like so brave and I felt like I had nothing to lose. Obviously I wasn't on YouTube yet, but I was like, I'm gonna propagate you now. This is a picture from a week later. I took the moss off of the roots and then I cut her into 4 pieces. I think there's 2 nodes, a node and a leaf, and then the top cutting. So I wanna say 2 of the nodes died because I wasn't experienced at that point. So the top cutting, oh my god, look at this top cutting. I threw her into Leca. I think this is June 2020. It really is wild that this mother, it was just so small when I got it. I did the second one, it threw out a small leaf. I put her in an aeroid mix. I know, weird, right? I put her in an aeroid mix and she did push out this like really cute leaf. But essentially this mother was like the foundation. That's not the right word. I want to say it's the foundation of growth. No, that's not right. Basically all the plants, all the props came from this plant. Can you believe that? And I know this was almost 3 years ago, but I can't believe it. July, she pushed out a new leaf. August, I think she pushed out a leaf. September, I think there's a picture. And then October, I think I have a picture of me holding it. But wow, she grew so much. And then she kind of paused. But here is a picture from February. Look at this variegation. Can you believe? And this is when I decided to experiment propagating. Seeing the specimen, seeing how fantastic the variegation was, I was like, okay, if I propagate this plant, I'm gonna get really good variegated babies. But took single leaf cuttings with 1 node, threw her into perlite. This is one of the first experiences I had propagating in perlite. Through 2021, you know, it's kind of a blur to me. There are so many pictures I took of the strawberry shake, but I'll just pop in a few here. They just took off. They took off, and like great variegation. And at this point, I think I was putting all of them in Leca. That might be another reason why they really took off. The propagation bug didn't go away, and I just continued to chop these plants over and over and over again. And now I kind of have an army of strawberry shakes, which is so funny. Is there a reason why I picked this plant to propagate so much? Again, it has to go back to the variegation. Like, I was always so excited to see a new leaf. And even when a new leaf unfurls itself, you don't necessarily see what the variegation is gonna look like. I don't want to say it's like polarized variegation, but is it? Like, it doesn't look the same. Like when it finally hardens off, that's when the darker green comes in, the yellow, pink creams. Am I gonna show them all? I guess I am. Okay, so Future Kevin popping a clip. This is the bucket with 4 like top cuttings. I put them in here because these are like the 4 plants that I don't want to touch and I don't want to propagate. I mean, I might, but like that was the goal initially. This is funny because I think the ones I'm showing you now, they were those first propagations that I started out in perlite and transferred into leca. But again, I just kept cutting. So here's one of them. You can see she's really variegated. I mean, you can see, guys. So the first propagation was this one plant. I chopped her here and then she's pushed out 3 to 4 growth points. Wow, I wasn't even moving and it dropped. This is another one. This is another one. So you can see, she started out as this one propagation. I cut her here, then she pushed out a new growth point at the node. A second one here, which I did chop again, and now she's pushing out this weird growth. I just propagated her because the leaves were a little bit too green. Yeah, I'm in love. And yeah, the cream parts do melt away. This is the new leaf. So yeah, this is the second mother prop. Does that make sense? Mother prop.
Please don't fall, please don't fall. Ah! My Finley's so is falling. Gosh, what happened?
Okay, and then this is the third one. So she grew a lot. The initial mother was growing from here. I cut her and then she pushed out this new growth point here. And then she was pushing out not so variegated leaves. So I decided to cut her right above the last node. That gave me a really variegated leaf right over here, and then she pushed out these 2 leaves. So yeah, that is the third mother. And you'll find that like when you propagate, they'll push out new growth points from even older nodes below it. So this is also one, but I mean, you can see that she's fully green. I let them grow a lot of the time, so just to see what comes out of it. So number 3, there's actually so many. Okay, don't judge me. These are the aeroid, the ones in the aeroid mix. They look rough. They need to be watered. So I'll probably do that after, but here are a whole bunch of props. So there's this tray here. There's a couple props here with amazing roots, guys. A baby over here. Oh my god, one of my favorites ever. I still haven't decided if I'm going to keep it or if I'm gonna sell it. Maybe I should just sell it, guys. Some sad looking ones that I put into pawn. I want to make these my mother's because I thought the variegation looked really good in the newer leaves. Can y'all see? They're small, but the variegation's really nice. So that's this pot. I don't know how many are in here. 8. A random one here. And then this one, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I think I'm gonna take a few top cuttings because she started out with these leaves over here and then she pushed out this smaller growth. And so, I mean, some of the leaves do look pretty variegated. Random sad ones over here. Oh my, can you see? There's not much to show with these ones. They're kind of dry. They're kind of dry. Some more over here in this tray. And then the last tray. Here's a bunch in here. I just am so happy with how much these plants have grown. And I mean, again, all those plants mainly came from this one. You know, I really loved this plant in the beginning, but I love her even more now because now she's really grown so much and I was able to see myself half moon leaves, for example, more balanced variegation and like totally cream ones, and seeing how they behave. These will melt away, guys. If you don't have another green leaf. But yeah, basically a philodendron that I've had the most experience propagating. So I guess it taught me a lot about propagating philodendrons. Anyhow, I feel like I talk about this plant so much. So the second plant that I got in 2020 is the Philodendron Strawberry Shake. Okay, let's do a Hoya. This plant has grown so much. You know, seeing this grow through the years, I've just become like super attached to it and I don't want to get rid of it. The third plant is the Hoya Archboldiana pink flowers. When I was starting to get into Hoyas, because y'all know in the past, like 2019, early 2020, even when I got this plant, I was like, I don't like Hoyas. I think they're so boring and they suck. So I basically got this plant just to experiment things. Like I didn't want to have an opinion about something, even though I didn't like experience growing it, because I was like, whatever about them. I don't have any pictures from when I got it, but I'm pretty sure I got it in April 2020 and I threw her straight into leca. This is also the time. Do you hear that buzzing, guys? Okay, I'm just gonna keep going. This is when I didn't have grow lights. I only got grow lights, I think, in the fall of 2020. And so this Hoya was mainly relying on this south-facing window. And so this picture is from September. You can see that she pushed out a few leaves and it was getting really tall. You could see that the tendril has a few sets of baby leaves. And I put a bamboo stake, because again, I didn't really look into like how Hoyas behave. And I was like, okay, let's just put a bamboo stake in March of 2021. This is when I decided to put her on a hoop trellis, but just observing how this plant grew, this Hoya specifically needed a ton of support. So I also put this ugly plastic netting just so the tendril would always have something to latch onto. And I think I have a clip from July 2021. Oh, look at her. Oh my gosh, look at these leaves. These are the new... Oh my god, hi. They're so cute. And like, wow. So again, she's in LECA. This is the hideous netting over here. I just kind of, I don't know what I did, but wow. Like, can we take her in? This is incredible. I didn't take many pictures of this plant. I maybe talked about this plant in YouTube videos. I'm just gonna show you, how she looks. She's actually in the same medium, like it's the same LECA. So let me just push y'all over here. Okay, wow. Look at all these leaves, guys. Future Kevin put in a picture from around the time I got her, so July 2020, and just look at how full and beautiful this plant is. Okay, I actually haven't looked at the roots for a while. Guys, she's gonna spill every, oh my god. So yeah, one of my fuller Hoyas, this is one Hoya that hasn't bloomed for me. And I've said this in the past, like I really believe that this plant first needs a lot of support, second needs a lot of light, like more than what I give it, and lots of warmth. So yeah, I don't know, I'm so in love with this plant. I think I've said this before, but I don't recommend this plant for beginner plant parents just because I personally have seen that they need a little bit more than your average Hoya. Anyhow, the third plant is the Hoya Archboldiana. Okay, the fourth plant is the Philodendron Glorious. I got this plant in May 2020, and seriously guys, y'all need to get your hands on a Glorious. If y'all love fast growing plants, philodendrons. I don't think I could find a picture from when I first got it or a video, so here is a picture from July. Again, there's a trend here in 2020. This is when I was just throwing all my plants into LECA, because at the time I think 95% of my collection was in LECA. Don't look at the baby melon chrysum because we don't like her, but the Glorious, it's this one leaf. Anyhow, she did push out a few leaves, and then a month later I attached a moss pole that I made, oh my gosh, just so she could climb it. This is me with the plant, and she's much bigger than like 2 months ago. This is when she reached the top of the moss pole. At this point I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to attach an extension, and so I decided to air layer it. So I air layered it with moss. I love this picture so much because you can really see like how small the leaves are at the bottom compared to the top ones. A plant that sizes up really quickly, I mean, at least in my experience. And again, she was in LECA. So just look at how big the leaves are at the top compared to at the bottom. Like that was just so crazy to see. And obviously because she was in a small plastic 6-inch pot, she was tipping over. So I did have her leaned up against something. I don't remember what it was. So there was a point where I propagated the entire plant. That top cutting, I put in an aeroid mix because at that point, I was also trying to experiment with an aeroid mix again to see if I like it. I don't. But funny enough, my Glorious is still living in an aeroid mix. But the roots are really good when I transferred her. This mix is in a mix that is too dense, holds onto a ton of water, and I really want to get it out of it. But anyhow, March 2022, she grew so tall. Oh my gosh. She was out of control. Out of control. Yeah, one thing I regret is not attaching this to a moss pole because it was sizing up without a moss pole. It had a bamboo stake, but the roots weren't latched onto it. So, and I mean, sometimes guys, your plant doesn't need a moss pole to size up. So I don't have many pictures in between this picture and like now, but I did have to propagate this plant because spider mites attacked my entire collection. I want to limit the foliage, so I really cut this plant down. And so I made the decision just to keep 2 cuttings, I think. So I kept the main plant. I just cut it to a stump with 1 leaf. And then the second one, I propagated and put it in an aeroid mix. And yeah, this picture from September 2022 was one of the propagations. Yeah, it's wild because looking at this picture, and I've gotten this comment a lot. They're like, your plant room looks more empty than what it was before. And I mean, this picture was taken in September right before I started getting rid of plants and chopping up plants because of the spider mites. Okay, so I mean, they still look good. They still look good, guys. So she's kind of dehydrated. Wow, you're really dehydrated. But here she is. Look at this. She's a little damaged at the bottom. These are the 2 new leaves that came out. and I attached her to a moss pole here. I'm really excited to watch this grow, and you know, I kind of debated getting rid of this one, to be honest, because you know, when these grow big, I don't even know like where we're gonna put those. I didn't want to repot it because like the roots were fine. I think ultimately I just had to supplement it with like nutrition, just because at this point it was the same aeroid mix that I had it in for I think like a year at that point. So yeah, this is the first one. Oh my god, the second one. Okay, so this is the same leaf from that picture from September. So she's still here doing her thing. She pushed out a leaf. The first leaf is always so wonky. Oh my god, look at her. And then the first normal looking leaf. Look at this. Honestly, Glorious, guys. Wow. If y'all like the look of a Melanochrysum, this is pretty darn close. Like this is... Okay, so this was the propagation. So you can see where I cut. And then she pushed out new growth from this node, and she's just growing. And the stem is the same thickness as what it was before, which is like a pleasant surprise because usually it's smaller sometimes. I'm gonna keep this mother leaf just for now, just until she yellows and browns. But I'm really happy to see this leaf. Wow, guys. I just can't believe that this plant was like so small when I got her. You know, the one leaf that started out in Leca. You know, it was just fantastic seeing like from March of last year when she was like this really big plant, and seeing how easy this plant is able to like maintain its size even though I've propagated it. And I think a big part is because I had this big leaf as like a solar panel. And again, I ignore her so much. Like, did I water this a month ago? It was probably a month ago that I watered these two plants. Obviously that one needs to be watered. The fourth plant is the Philodendron Glorious. Oh my god, the sun. Again, like clockwork, it's 10. That's when the sun comes out. Oh my god, it's so pretty. Okay, so the next plant is an Anthurium, and it is the Anthurium Esmeraldense. You know, when I first got this plant, I had zero clue of how it would grow. So here is a picture from June 2020. Ooh, she looks rough. She looks so rough. She pushed out a new leaf. Still, I mean, she looks better than what she looked like before. But unfortunately, after this, she got root rot in Leca. I still, to this day, don't know what happened to it. And she wasn't looking too hot, so I did transfer her to Pawn at the beginning of 2021. And this is a clip from after. She still looks so rough. I want to use this method to root her again, and it works. Like, she did push out new growth. She did root, she pushed out new leaf, but then at some point she experienced root rot again. And so I decided to put her back into Leca and try rooting her in Leca again, and she did just fantastic. I think this was August of 2021. Look at these roots, like healthy root system. It's the healthiest I've seen this plant, like the root system on this plant. I feel bad. I really just moved her back and forth. I don't recommend this, guys. I know I did it, but I don't recommend it. Because 2021 was like the year of Pawn, I transferred her back into Pawn. So this picture is from September 2021. Yeah, she slowly pushed out new leaves. I was really excited because she started, I mean, the leaf shape looked kind of similar, but she's kind of developing like the ribbing on the leaves, which I just love. And this picture from April 2022 is just, oh, this is when I was like, oh my god, she's looking so good. And so I guess I'll go grab her. Okay, so here she is. Man, I am so in love with this leaf. It's so pretty, guys. So I'm super excited. Wow. I don't know, she's so pretty. I did transfer her to, I think this is an 8.5-inch pot. I think I might have to put a little bit more Pawn just because I can see a root trend. She's trying, guys. She's still okay. Like, yeah, so beautiful. I like can't believe. So Future Kevin put in a picture from I think June 2020. This is when I first got her. And just the journey of like bouncing back, and I don't know, she's doing fantastic. Look at her. This plant taught me a great deal about Anthuriums and just making sure you submerge any new adventitious roots either with moss or just cover it with the substrate it's already in. I think that's what I did with the whole transferring into Leca, and that's why the root system was so big. Because those adventitious roots are fresh, they'll have an easier transition into a new medium. And I think it's ultimately what saved this plant. So again, another thing, there's a vent right up there. Y'all can't see, but there is a vent right over there, and this leaf is right under it, and they're fine. They're doing just fine. Yeah, anyhow, the fifth plant is the Anthurium Esmeraldense. Okay, let's do a philodendron. The sixth plant is the Philodendron Jose Buono. The Jose Buono just has these beautiful paddle-like leaves, and they're just so gorgeous when they have that cream variegation. I got this plant in the spring of 2020. However, I could only find a picture from August 2020. So this is around the time I got her. So the leaf that she already had that's open was one of the leaves that already existed when I got her. This new leaf coming, oh my gosh, you can see, I think you can see the cream, right? I was so excited because, I mean, obviously you can see with that leaf, like there wasn't a lot of cream. Another plant I put into Leca and she took off. She loved Leca, oh my gosh. If I have the choice, and I think I might do this in the next month or two, but I think I'm going to either transfer my Jose Buono back into Leca, but they just grow really fast. I find that the leaves look really healthy when they're in Leca. But yeah, I think she pushed out a leaf per month, and I think these next pictures are from November 2020. So beautiful. I always say that this philodendron is like a Monstera Thai constellation's cousin. Just the speckling, like it constantly has the speckling in the leaves. This picture is from February 2021. This is when I had to transfer her into a bigger pot. So this is, I'm pretty sure it's a 10-inch net pot in a 3-gallon bucket. I had to because she was getting too big. She's getting really top heavy. And again, another philodendron that I didn't have attached to a moss pole. Again, I hated moss poles back then. But this also like taught me, and you'll see in the next clip or pictures, that this plant didn't need a moss pole. I mean, obviously if you're giving this plant what it needs and you're kind of supporting the health of that main root system in Leca, it doesn't need a moss pole. Oh, I literally have no pictures in between. What had happened? What had happened? And then she grew too big. She grew too big. I will just include a clip from August 2021. So I did propagate her. And so yeah, here's the clip. Hey guys, it's always so stressful. Okay, I have to propagate this plant. I'm really sad because I would love to watch it grow. Here's my, oh. So I've mentioned before, I have been air layering this plant. I tried wrapping these around and it didn't work. So we're gonna have to bring out this kitchen knife. Oh my God, do y'all hear that? Oh. Oh my God, I can't take it. Here's the top one, guys. So 2 leaves. Oh my God. Oh, 3, 2, 1. Here she is. So 9 months later, she is a beast. Obviously, I can't go through every single plant here. This was, I want to say, I guess one of the top cuttings. She still has the mother leaf. Yeah, so here is the second one. Like I said, she's in pawn. Jose Buono number 3. This is the newest leaf. Jose Buono number 4. Number 6, and the last Jose Buono that's in pawn was another one that was originally in soil. Number 8 here, so she is in an aeroid mix. Number 9. So looking good. I mean, she's tall. Number 10 looks very similar. So 11 and 12. You could see that this one has healthy roots. And so that was also the propagation update of this plant. This was right before the whole spider mite thing. So unfortunately, I did get rid of half of those plants. I still have a lot, guys. I think the majority of them are in pawn or their propagations in moss. And so, okay, let me grab the one on a moss pole. She almost knocked over the flame. So here's one. Look at all these leaves, guys. So again, she's not as big, but I mean, if she was one of the propagations and she's this big now, like I'm impressed. This is one of the newer leaves. And yeah, she's doing just fine. She's in a self-watering pot of pawn. And y'all can see the roots are latching on to the moss pole here. This is probably gonna be one of my main ones that I keep, and like, I can't say that because she's gonna get too big and then I'm gonna have to be forced to propagate her, but it's one of my main plants. I will extend the moss pole soon. So yeah, this is one of the props. Guys, I'm kind of nervous to show you the, I don't think I've shown the bigger one in pawn in a while because it's so hard to move her. Like, it's extremely hard to move her. I think she's gonna snap soon. So for sure this one I'm gonna propagate, and she's kind of like hanging on to like the Anthuriums and the Thai constellation. Oh my God, don't. Here. Okay. Look how tall. Do you see what I mean? Like, she's pushed out so many leaves over here. And like, she's still not as big as the one in Lekka. So that's one of the newer leaves. And she's just so chaotic. So again, this was one of the props. You can see the stump. He pushed out this new growth from that node. And ever since, she's been this big giant situation. Do you see how beautiful this plant is, guys? Oh my God, I'm swaying. I could sway now because there's room. Guys, this is incredible. So I do need to propagate this one because she's too tall. If I let go of this, she's gonna bend and probably snap. There's a single bamboo stake here, but I do believe that the reason why the Jose Buono had bigger leaves than Lekka is because of the nutrient solution. I don't know if y'all saw, but she was crashing into everyone and really hanging on to everyone. Okay, let me put her back. Again, I showed this top cutting recently. She is so stunning. Oh my gosh. Okay, here's one in Pawn. He has a couple growth points there. I have 2 propagations right here, one over here, and then a couple more. They're still working on roots. Like you can see, got a juicy one there, and then 2 more right over here. You know, I'm a little conflicted because I want that big Jose Buono again, like the one that grew in Lekka, but I just don't know if I have the room. So we'll see, guys. I might take a top cutting from that big one in Pawn, put it in Lekka, and then just see what happens. Future Kevin put in a picture again. She started out as a leaf. And it's just funny because I could have had more if like I didn't get rid of the ones that were like heavily infested with spider mites. Yeah, definitely a philodendron that is super easy that I would recommend. The 6th plant is the Philodendron Jose Buono. Y'all, it's getting really hot. I had to turn on my fan behind my camera again because it was overheating. Honestly, when you have these days, and this happens more in the summertime, but I mean, I don't know what y'all can see, but it looks like it's all lit up in the sky. And obviously having like tons of glass, it gets really warm when the sun is out. Let's do an orchid. Actually, let's do a couple orchids because I got these orchids at the same time. So the first one is the Phalaenopsis GW Greenworld Snakeskin. You know, orchids, I wasn't necessarily a fan of orchids. 2020 really was the year of Lekka, but also the year of like learning and experimenting. And so this orchid, I already bought her in spike. So she already had blooms. Here's a picture. I think this was December 2020. So this over here, oh my God, where are my notes? Where are my notes? And you could see the blooms have a very snakeskin-like pattern. I was done buying plants and adding to my order, but they did post a story on their Instagram showing this plant, saying that they have a few left. And I was like, oh, I can't help myself. Like, these blooms are just to die for. Let me just step back. This is beautiful. Oh my gosh. I knew before that Phalaenopsis, they really hang on to their flowers for a long period of time. However, this one, I think I said before, for like a year, there wasn't a point where she was without blooms. She always had blooms, whether that was a new like spike, new buds opening, but this orchid always had blooms. And I mean, whether that was April, here's a picture of 2021, August 2021, or October 2021, she was always in bloom. Like throughout the year, she always had flowers. I know I'm saying that a lot, but like it really shocked me and still shocks me to this day. Oh, see, and this is from March of 2022. These flowers are insane. Okay, this is when it took like a downturn. Oh wait, here's a picture from May. Oh my God, Gorgina. So here's a story. Because she shipped to me in moss, I didn't want to disturb her until the blooms dropped. Like I said, the blooms never dropped, or she always was in bloom. And I was just scared of transferring her because like it was so beautiful. I just want to see these flowers. I kept her in moss. In the summer of 2022, is when there was a lot of neglect within my collection, and unfortunately the moss dried out so much that the roots were just, they were gone. I kind of took for granted like how easy it was to take care of and how fortunate I was to have like these blooms just like right after the other. In the fall/winter of 2022, I transferred her into Lekka because again, I always wanted to experiment with Phalaenopsis and Lekka. She doesn't have flowers right now, but she is pushing out a new spike and there is a new leaf that's growing, so I'll just grab her. Also, there's like a chance this might not be it because I lost the labels at one point, and I think it's just process of elimination. So here she is. So this is the new leaf. She's still growing. She was really small before. Obviously when the roots rotted, she couldn't sustain or grow like bigger leaves. And oh my God, I almost fell into you guys. Okay, this is the spike. I am so excited to see these flowers again. I am so excited. Look at her. Oh my god. So yeah, she's in Leca. And you know, I'm really keeping an eye on the water level, because I know you're not supposed to like drown these roots. Phalaenopsis, they're true epiphytic plants, so they need to breathe a lot, like more than other epiphytic plants. I'm just so happy that she's doing well in Leca. You know, once she pushes out the spike and blooms, I'm really curious to see if it's going to follow that same pattern of like holding on to its flowers. I do think because she had blooms for a long period of time, foliage really suffered. Along with me neglecting her and drying her out, I wasn't really feeding her that much because she was in moss. Again, Phalaenopsis, GW Greenworld, Snakeskin. Okay, the second Phalaenopsis that I got at the same time is the Phalaenopsis Mituo Diamond Panda. It kind of followed the same pattern as the Snakeskin, and I forgot to mention, I might include a clip of when I first got it. So this is, oh my god, I know what this one is. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. They said that it was going to be in spike, which it is. So she was in spike, however, she didn't have any blooms yet. February 2021. She gave me this beautiful flower. Like, I was so in love with it. It's interesting because like all the pictures that I've seen, like the petal to the side was supposed to be like cream or white, but this first bloom had one side entirely like purple. And a few weeks later, the bud next to it opened up. This is the color that I was kind of talking about, like cream on the edges and then just like a plum purple. Oh, so pretty. Also, these petals are like super thick. Yeah, it just became my favorite orchid. I kept the spike because I noticed that there was a new growth coming from another part. It did take a while for it to push out a new bloom, but yeah, here's a picture. This was like a year after. I think it might have pushed out a couple leaves, did it? I think I see one leaf at least. Okay, yeah, because in May, look at these. Oh my god, I love these flowers. They're so pretty. Again, Phalaenopsis, y'all need to try to grow these because they are so beautiful. I know I'm not that experienced, but like when they bloom, the bloom stays on for quite a while. And okay, I'll grab her. I forgot to mention, again, she was in moss the whole time and I didn't transfer her until the roots were gone. So she's in Leca currently. Look at these two new leaves. They are nice and thick, guys. Wow. And then, and I've showed this recently, but like, wow, look at these flowers. Look at these. Oh my god. Okay, so that's one side. Look at the other side, guys. They're so cute. Are you kidding? And then there's one on, oh my god, there's one on its way. Look at this. And then there's another one. I think I said before, when this orchid bloomed for me in the past, the most flowers that she had was 3 on a spike. And so now that I have 4, I've like surpassed. Oh my guys, she's so pretty. I can't get over how pretty these flowers are. So again, in Leca, I'm like so happy that she's bounced back. And yeah, what do you guys think? I just love the purple. Look at that. So these two orchids taught me, I mean, quite recently that you can grow Phalaenopsis in Leca. I was always so scared just because like people weren't recommending it, but like I just wanted to try it out. Okay, the Phalaenopsis Mituo Diamond Panda. So the next plant is the Philodendron McDowell. I really want to get this plant big again. I bought it as a Pastizanum. People have told me that it is clearly a Dean McDowell, so I'm just gonna go with it. Okay, my memory is so foggy. I just saw this picture now. I don't know, but this is from November 2020. I know for a fact the one on the left did not survive. You can even see the difference in the roots. And like these are the roots that were acclimated to an aroid mix. I guess I propagated her. But you can see that that new root system is like bright pinkish white and it's really healthy. Don't I have a video? Look at this new cute baby. It just opened, I think, because it's still really soft. She does have a new leaf. I think in the 5-month update, she was unfurling this leaf. Here she is now. She's bigger than the previous one, which is great. Okay, guys, so this is the, oh my god, this leaf. Okay, so this is the Philodendron Pastizanum. Oh my god, look at her. Okay. Oh my god, look at this leaf. Look at her. She is so pretty. Oh my gosh, 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 oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. You all can't probably see it right now, but oh my gosh, I'm walking so slowly. Guys, I'm using my sack of espresso beans to, I should have just brought you guys to the plant. What am I thinking? So, This is honestly insane. Like, these are gigantic leaves, and I can't believe it. What is happening? Look at this leaf. Oh my god, I'm freaking out. Hey, look at these 2 leaves. What? Okay, so this plant had a really good 2021, but she did kind of suffer during the winter of 2021. I don't know if there was like not a lot of sun. This plant wasn't living under a grow light. And I guess because in the summer months, you know, the sun is kind of like this the majority of the day. She was fine without a grow light, but then once the winter hit and she didn't have light, I think the plant couldn't sustain enough food for itself. Anyhow, summer 2022, I decided to chop her, and I didn't film it, but I think I did a story on my Instagram. I want to show you. Look at this. These are my Philodendron McDowell propagations. So I chopped up my Philodendron McDowell. She wasn't doing great, so I just wanted to start from scratch. So yeah. So I think I made a mistake, guys. Y'all are gonna laugh. Y'all think I'm crazy, but this is what I did with the propagations. So 2 grow lights, but the leaves are so big. They're so big. It's just in moss. And then there's more in this bucket because I just didn't know what to do with the rest. And then there's more over here. Oh my god, guys. I don't even know. Oh my. The leaves are just so big. And for the sake of room, I just basically cut all the big leaves off, and I had like these stump situations. A lot of them survived. I think I maybe got rid of 3 or 4. But yeah, I'll just grab them now. How are you? Okay, so this is the biggest one. I'm so excited. Look at her. She's coming back. She's coming back. Wow. Look at this leaf, guys. You can see she was a stump, and then she pushed out, I think this leaf first, then this one, and then this. So this is like the best looking one right now. I've talked about this with my Philodendron luxurians, but this is another terrestrial philodendron that I want to try growing up a moss pole. I've seen it done. It looks gorgeous growing up a pole, and so I'm gonna try it with this one. I have them all clustered on the shelf now, and I think this one's getting too much light. Wow, you sized up really fast. Stump with a node. From that node, she pushed out this small little leaf. And then the next leaf is like this big. Do you see the difference, guys? Roots look good. These are the roots popping out the bottom, so I do need to repot her. Oh, you're pretty too. See, they're all pretty, guys. Okay, number 3. Number 3 is so cute. Oh my gosh. So yeah, those are my 3 big ones. Actually, I did move a few. Okay, I was actually gonna get rid of these ones. I'm probably gonna give this to a friend. So this is another one. Oh my god, so cute. Oh my god, and these are so funny looking. Here's another one. Again, Stumpionia, and then this leaf, and then this is the newest leaf. I was gonna get rid of this one. This one's really sad. So this is the only leaf. She was pushing out another leaf, and you can see it here. You see how this was a new leaf? I don't know what happened. Like, she got stuck. And like, this is the reason, guys, like sometimes you need to free your leaves because you'll get a dead growth like this, because I didn't free this one. Anyhow, she is pushing out a new leaf. So I'll see what that leaf does. But I don't know, guys. I love how this leaf. I might wait for another leaf and then I'll put her on a moss pole. I just want to see which direction it's going. Sometimes you can't tell. But again, like all these plants, and future Kevin put a picture from that propagation I forgot about, but like this was the plant in November 2020. I don't even know how she grew so much in 2021. And I mean, the props are good. The props are doing well. They're doing just fine. So, the Philodendron Dean McDowell. Okay, I took a little break. I had to eat something. I ate a bagel. Love me a bagel, y'all. Okay, I want to do my Rhaphidophora I have one bagel and everything just falls apart. I can't even say it anymore. Rhaphidophora Pertusa. If y'all watch my plant tour video, y'all know that she is down to just 2 cuttings. But let's go through the journey because this plant is just a gorgeous plant. I got this plant in April 2020, and there's actually a video of me unveiling it. Hey guys, I am so excited today. I actually added it on to my existing order, which was 2 other plants. I thought it was smaller than this, but oh my god, I'm so excited. This is... It's so big. So she came to me in an aeroid mix. So I threw her in leca, and because I wanted her to grow really big, I put her on a moss pole. And so a month later, she pushed out this leaf. This is before she hardened off, and I was a different plant parent at that time. Anytime there was like a few nodes, I would propagate the plant. So that's basically what I did. So this is her. I was experimenting with Kiki paste. Does anyone remember that? Do people still use that? And she didn't stop growing. Like, she was probably pushing out a new leaf every month. I was getting really excited because, again, I love these leaves. I think this picture is from April. So the one in the big pot of leca was doing really well. Forgot about the propagation, so I put her in a small pot of leca. This is what she looked like. I didn't document anything with the propagation, so this is like the most recent picture, but this kind of demonstrates like how fast this plant grows. I know for a fact I gave a propagation to my mom. It's still live, does not have any fenestrations. It basically looks like a pothos. Okay, this confused me. And from this plant I took propagations again because the next picture I have is from August of 2021. I honestly don't remember what happened with this plant. Like the one in the big pot of leca, I have no idea what happened. I think I might have just propagated it down. But the one that's in that small planter, it was interesting because the roots did grow out of the net pot and just continue to grow these gorgeous leaves. For the majority of 2022, I did ignore it. She was against my shelf here under a grow light, and she was actually climbing up my wall. I don't know what's happening. I'm trying to prevent it from snapping. Guys, I don't know if y'all can see me. So I'm gonna stand back. She is in leca still, in this small little pot, and you could see a weed. So this top part, I am so impressed with how it looks. I don't know, I'm so far back I can't even see what y'all are seeing. But look at these leaves. I'm sorry, but this is like more impressive than the tetrasperma. Oh. Okay guys, it like totally broke. So I'm unfortunately gonna have to cut this. It just broke now. Oh my God, it just broke, guys. Look at this. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. Oh, no. Okay. Wow. Tragedy strikes. Okay. Wow, guys. Seriously. I love this plant so much. Okay, so y'all saw that it like broke right off, but did you see how beautiful that plant was? Like it was just so incredible. Like I said, I only have 2 cuttings. I know it was a big plant, but again, I got spider mites and I couldn't keep all these propagations. And just knowing how fast a Pertusa grows, I was sad, but like I felt okay because once these plants have a healthy root system, they really just take off. So again, she's starting from the beginning. So here she is. So 2 cuttings, and so the first leaf is this small one here. You can see there is a new growth coming. The second one has this baby. She's gonna be so pretty. I am so excited for this to grow really big. And this time I'm prepared. I was like, Kevin, you need to put it in a bigger pot. You need to give it support in the form of moss pole. I'm predicting by the end of 2023, she's gonna be massive. She's gonna be hitting the ceiling. Maybe not hitting the ceiling, but like the Rhaphidophora Pertusa. Okay, let's do an Anthurium. So this is the Anthurium Mojito. And when I first got her, I mean, the leaves were on the darker side, but they weren't like the classic Mojito dark red leaves. Within a month, I took her out of an arid mix, threw her in leca, and she pushed out this gorgeous leaf. Oh my gosh. How can you not love this plant? Why don't people have this plant? Yeah, this is April 2021. Look at her. Look at these leaves, guys. Oh my gosh. I'm a little frustrated because I was trying to find a clip because I know this plant pushed out so many leaves. I feel like there was a time where there were 9 leaves and I just couldn't find one. Anyhow, here is a picture from May 2022. This is right before she had that root rot situation. So I propagated her, got her into pond, and now I have 2 babies. They don't look the best. Again, y'all have seen her recently. Okay, actually there's something new, guys. Okay, so let me just show you. So there's 2 cuttings in here. Again, I keep the leaves. This is one over here. The second one, the first leaf that she pushed out. This leaf, and then the baby. Look at the baby, guys. Oh my God. Big news. Look at this new leaf. She is gonna be so red and gorgeous. Okay, so she's bouncing back. I'm really excited. I think once she grows a little bit, I am thinking of putting a moss pole because when she grew really tall, I was kind of putting moss on top of the leca and just covering all the adventitious roots as it grew. Anyhow, Anthurium Esmeraldense. Okay, the next plant is one that is a bit unknown to a lot of people, and I know a lot of people in Canada have had access to this plant from one specific place. I'm not sure if they sell it anymore, but it is the Philodendron species Mottled Fitzcaraldo. When I saw this plant, I mean, again, I like buying plants where there's like not a lot of information out there. So I got this plant in May 2020. So she shipped in moss, and I thought it kind of looks like a shingler. Like it kind of looked like a Monstera dubia. And so I put a moss pole. Here's a picture, threw her into leca. I didn't take many pictures, to be honest, but a year later, she reached the top of the moss pole. I had to add a bamboo stake. Here's a picture of, you know, how big the leaves grew. I want to see if these leaves grow any bigger, but that pattern, guys, look at that pattern. I kind of had no choice but to propagate her and kept only 2 cuttings. Girl, okay, so there's one in pot. So leaf over there, that leaf, questionable Hanhiae. I debate if I want to keep this one, I might not. I might just keep the other one, which is in leca. Okay, this is the one in leca. So mother leaf, and then she pushed a new one. Look at this, and there's a new one over here. She hasn't attached yet, just because I just put her on a pole, but I don't know. I love these leaves so much. Philodendron species Mottled Fitzcaraldo. Okay, guys, I'm falling behind. I think there are 4 plants left, so I'm just gonna speed through. Okay, this plant I still have, but I am unfortunately gonna get rid of her. I feel really bad, but I am running out of room. It is the Hoya elagiorum. Again, I knew nothing about this plant. I only knew that the pictures that I saw, the flowers are like bright red, and so I got it. The foliage, I'm not really a fan of, guys. So when she finally bloomed for me, which I think was late 2021, I was a little confused because the flowers were orange with a pink center. They're still really gorgeous, guys. I later found out after I googled it that there's a variety of colors. I think there's a yellow version, obviously a red version. This is the orange version. So yeah, it was a pleasant surprise. And once she bloomed, I mean, all of 2022, she bloomed so many times. And she was actually the one where I did a time lapse and it was a fail because it wasn't in focus. So that was hilarious. The thing about these flowers is that they do not last long. I want to say max they last 3 days, but usually it's like 2. So here she is. She's been in the same pot of leca. Obviously, y'all can see that she grew so much. So again, I might just take a few cuttings. I might just get rid of this completely. But yeah, I mean, it was a good time, like just learning from this plant and growing it without really knowing much about it. So here she is, the Hoya elagiorum. Okay, Syngonium Mojito. This Syngonium is so stunning and one that I just kept propagating over and over and over again. I never really got her super tall or big, but that's kind of my goal this year. I mean, y'all have seen her recently. I repotted her in my plant tour video. I only kept a few cuttings, propagated her. You can see that there are new leaves coming. Look at that, guys. She was right under a grow light, so there's a lot of burning with these mother leaves here. Large moss pole, and I'm just gonna extend it as it grows. Alrighty, Syngonium Mojito. Okay, there's more than I thought. There's a few Hoyas. Hoya CV Kaimuki. I got this at the end of 2020. She had 2 leaves, and similar to the Hoya Archboldiana, they need a lot of support. Foliage is very similar to the Archboldiana, but here she is. She has grown quite a bit, and the thing I love is when the new leaves, oh, I almost dropped it. When the new leaves come in, they come out like that. There are peduncles, but they've never bloomed ever. But the Hoya CV Kaimuki. Okay, the next plant is the Hoya Hanhiae pink flowers. I propagated her right away, so I'll probably pop that in here. Propagated her in water initially, and then I put her into leca. After that, guys, she took off. I did propagate her a bunch. I had 2 planters of this pot at one point, but because she grows so fast, like I did get rid of that one, unfortunately. The one that I have currently is living in Lashuza Pond, and she bloomed for the first time in the summer of 2022. And it's funny because I have the yellow flower version of this plant as well, and it kind of just looks like that. You could kind of see a little bit of pink, I guess. But what I found is sometimes it's that color and sometimes it's this color. Like sometimes they are like a light pink color. Oh, and she's heavy now. So here she is, without a doubt. This is like a wall. My biggest Hoya. Look at her, guys. Not in bloom currently. And for me, in the summertime, a constant bloomer. I'll probably keep this forever. But who knows, guys? She might end up attacking me, so who knows? Okay, Hoya Hanhiae pink flowers. The next plant is the Hoya Glabra Schlechter. I fell in love with this plant because the leaves are so big. So I had her in extremely highlight conditions just because seeing how big the leaves were, I was kind of pulling from my experience with the Archboldiana pink and how it needed a lot of support and light. And she grew a lot. I did propagate this plant a few times, but I did get rid of those props. Let's see what she looks like today. So here she is. Look at these beautiful large leaves. I finally attached a taller trellis, but she hasn't pushed out any leaves. And I was basically experimenting again. I didn't have her under grow light. I kind of put her against my south-facing window. As you can see, the tendrils just kept going, but there was no new leaf growth. So now that she's under grow light, I'm really excited for this plant to grow. So here she is. I just love how big these leaves are. Anyhow, the Hoya Glabra Schlechter. And okay, the next plant is the Hoya Cutis Porcelana. I already knew, because I googled it, that these flowers, I wanted these flowers. I got this in April 2020, threw her into Leca, and she really had no issues. Here is a picture from a year later. I'm pretty sure this plant had root rot, so I decided to propagate her in pon. And again, 2021 was the year of experimenting in pon. And I think I put her in a prop box initially. I don't think she necessarily needed it, and maybe it sped up the growth. And at this point, I put her into a pot, just all of them together. Here's a picture from August 2021. So she's a really fast grower, guys. If her root system is good and you give it what it needs, it is super, super fast. And fast forward to February 2022. This is when she gave me the flowers I always wanted. Look at this picture. These flowers are super stunning, so gorgeous. And it's interesting because that picture is from February of 2022. And I don't think she bloomed again until August or September of last year. From that point, she was like blooming nonstop for 4 months. I think in December, that's when she was like, okay, I'm tired. Okay, how are you? Here she is, guys. So she's really taken over that tomato cage trellis thing. Also, these trellises, I got them on Amazon like in 2020. I don't know where you can get them. I don't think they sell them anymore, or the seller isn't selling anymore. But do you see how much foliage-wise this plant has grown? Like, I am shook. Okay, and I lied, guys. I lied because it looks like it's gonna bloom again. So there's one. There is another one right over there, guys. One right over there. This plant is in a closed system. So ever since I transferred her a year or two ago, it's been the same pond. Overall, a really gorgeous plant. I love this plant so much. Hoya Cutis Porcelana. Okay, I think we made it to the end. I think we're at the last plant. So the last plant is the Syngonium Pink Splash. Similar to the Syngonium Mojito, I really want to experiment with propagation. In my opinion, and tell me if like I'm the only one, but I find that this Syngonium is slower than others. Like comparing it to my Syngonium Albo that I don't have anymore, my Mojito, my Aurea, it is super slow. It might just be a me thing, but who knows? But yeah, this plant grew so much. Because I was propagating a lot, I finally got like a big planter. I think it was a rectangular planter, and she was beautiful. I don't know, like in my experience, it's a lot slower to root than the Albo, for example. Guys, look at this vine. Look at these. I love these pastel, like pink situations. The rest of the plant is gorgeous. I unfortunately ignored her. You know, I was kind of kicking myself for it. And so I saved, oh my God, what I had left. Usually Kevin put in a picture. I think I have a picture. Do I have a picture? Oh my God. Yeah, it's this. This is from April 2022. Oh my gosh. Look at this. So there are two cuttings here. I actually don't know what happened to the second one. Obviously it's dead. So this is what I had left. And you know, I stuck her in her grow light, kept her in pod, and she's here. So she's one plant. I love her even more now because now it's the only one I have, and she's really been through a lot. So I'll go and show you. Here she is. Okay, the newest leaf, y'all. The newest leaf. Look at that pink. Look at that pink. Ah, there's a new leaf coming. It looks pink. Do you see the pink? I don't know if y'all can see the pink. She's bounced back, you know, from the dead. And, you know, I'm just in love with this new leaf. So pink. Oh my gosh. So she's a little bit offside to the grow light. The roots have grown out into the reservoir. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I think I'm gonna leave it because when she was thriving in an aeroid mix, the roots were growing out and that's actually when she started taking off. So I think I'm gonna leave her like this. Look at her, I'm so happy. Thank you for cooperating and bouncing back, and I won't ignore you again. Okay, so the last plant is the Syngonium Pink Splash. Okay guys, I guess that's it. I am so sorry I had to speed through the end. I didn't realize how long this was gonna take and I have to work out now. But do y'all have those plants in your collection that you've had for a while? I know I've asked this before because I did a 2019 version also, but there's just like this strange attachment like to a lot of these plants. Just seeing where they came from or what they started out as and like now them being so big and beautiful. Also like saving a plant is like another thing that I think about too. I will do a 2021 version of this video, but maybe in a month or a couple months. Thank you guys always for watching my videos. Again, I have a Patreon, so I want to thank my patrons in my Leca Drop tier and my Strawberry Shake tier. But a very special thanks to those in my Lobster Claw tier. It's not called that, it's the Monstera Burley Marks Flame tier. Marnie McCallum, Gerda, Stephanie McInnes, Carl G, Doug Dickerson, Kendra Prum, Janice Upton, Crystal, Margot T, Rosia Ramos, Storm McRoy, Corlin Walters, Gina Alexandra, Carlos Holling, Blaine B, The Love of My Life, Sam Pennypacker, Daniel Wilcox, Casey Gross Hoyas, Francesco, Shayna Nilsson, Linda Marks, Remy Pabila, Dodo Rocks, Danny Alley, Alicia D, Courtney Evans, and my brand new patron in this tier, Simone Elizabeth. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the very end, thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you guys later. Bye!